If you're drowning in about $20,000, $40,000, or even $80,000 or more of debt,
You've tried to fight your way out, but every payment feels like a drop in an ocean.
and making minimum payments that's barely touching the principal,
And here's the truth they never tell you.
less than 10% of people who start debt settlement programs actually complete them. Most of these companies are straight up predators. Let me be real with you.
Behind every unpaid bill is someone who's been told there's no way out.
These two companies average 70% of a completion rate versus the industry average of less than 10%. You are not your credit score. You are a child of God who was fearfully and wonderfully made with a purpose and a future. If you're drowning in about $20,000, $40,000, or even $80,000 or more of debt and making minimum payments that's barely touching the principal, today's episode, I believe, could change your financial future. I've spent the last, I would say, year researching two legitimate debt relief companies, Freedom Debt Relief and Accredited Debt Relief. And I'm going to show you exactly when debt relief makes sense, when it doesn't, because for a lot of people it doesn't, and give you 15 questions you must ask before signing anything. Family, I get messages every single day from people saying, Anthony, I'm drowning in debt and I don't know what to do. By the end of this video, you'll know if debt relief is right for your specific situation. And if it is, I'll show you how to get a free evaluation. I'm going to say this up front. This is why I need you to watch the entire show, because I'm going to show you how to get a free evaluation. What are the 15 questions you need to ask before you pay a dime, before you sign any paperwork to feel comfortable to do this for yourself? So before we talk about the good companies, you need to know the brutal truth up front. I've been praying about doing a show on this because less than 10% of people who start debt settlement programs actually complete them. So Anthony, why are you even doing a show on this? Well, those less than 10% of the people, so 90% of the people who unfortunately failed, they failed because they didn't do the proper research and went with the wrong company. So I really want to break down up front, how does debt relief actually work? Because I need you to know the truth up front. You stop paying your creditors. That's number one. Instead, you put that money into an escrow account that you control, not them. You control this. The number two, while you're saving money, I'm gonna be honest with you, your credit score could take a big hit. We're talking anywhere between 40 points to I've seen up to about 100 and 120 point drop immediately. The number three, after 6 to 12 months, the company, right, starts negotiating with your creditors to settle for less than you owe. But here's what they don't tell you. You're going to get collection calls for the most part every single day. I was a bill collector. I'm telling you the truth. Your credit is going to take a hit for at least 12 months to about 2 years. Some creditors might even sue you. I'm going to be upfront. And you'll pay 15 to 25% of your enrolled debt in fees. That means if you have $30,000 in debt, you could pay $7,500 just in fees. And that's if the program actually works. So why am I talking about this? Because some people, and I mean some people, this is a better option than filing bankruptcy. I'm gonna say it. Some people, I've gotten calls from people saying, man, if I don't come up with something, AO, I am going to have to file bankruptcy. And y'all know how I feel about bankruptcy. We got to avoid that at all costs. But You all need to know exactly what you're getting into. So I spent the last year hours, and I mean hours and days, researching more than 100 debt relief companies. Most of these companies are straight up predators. Let me be real with you. I would say about 85% of them are straight up predators. They charge upfront fees. They make promises they cannot and will not keep, and they leave people in a worse situation than they started. But I did find two. I found two companies that are different. First company is Freedom Debt Relief, and the second company is Accredited Debt Relief. Here's what I looked for. Very first thing was they're members of the American Fair Credit Council, which has strict standards. Number two, they don't charge any upfront fees. So you only pay them when they actually settle a debt, which is very, very key. Number three, they have realistic success rates. Nearly 70% of completion rates versus the industry average of less than 10%. Say it one more time. These two companies average 70% of a completion rate versus the industry average of less than 10%. Number four, you maintain control of your settlement account. They cannot touch your money. So this is money in your account that you control, that you can take out whenever you want. If you do not feel comfortable moving forward, you can say adios, amigos. Number five, this is what I really like that I've learned about them over this year, because I've had a couple of people go through them, because, you know, we've been working on some major things here within my company. And one of those is called the Escape Plan. And I've been walking people through different things to see what's working, to see what's not working. And what I loved about these two particular companies is that they're transparent about timelines. They're very honest about cost. And they're going to be very truthful with you up front about the credit impact. Now, I want to be crystal clear about something. Super clear about something. All right? I've done my research. And I've been offered, man, some crazy money to promote companies that I believe would not do you right. And I quickly turned those down. But my job is to make sure that I provide you with options. And so I just started doing research. And I turned down major money to give you options that you will have to do more research on. But these two companies, I only recommend because I've had family members go through them. Signing up for an evaluation with either one of these companies, and I would suggest you sign up for both, you guys, is completely 100% free. You're not paying for anything. You're not committing to anything. You're just getting information. I want to say this again. Signing up for an evaluation is completely 100% free. Do not pay for anything until you get the 15 questions that are inside of today's show notes. Until you and your spouse, you and your partner feel 100% comfortable about it. You're not committing to anything, but I do want you to go to anthonyoneal.com/debt relief, complete the form, set up the call, and I want you to see if this is a good fit for your situation. And I'm trying to move slowly and be very, very, what's my word I'm looking for here? Be very, very clear. Because I want to be clear on who should or who should not consider debt relief, right? let me put it to you this way. I want to be super clear about who should consider this and who should run the opposite way, because this is not for everyone. Now, who should consider debt relief? Well, number one, you should consider debt relief if your debt exceeds 50% of your annual income. So if you make, let's say, $50,000 and owe more than $30,000, you should consider it. I didn't say you should do it. You should call and ask the questions. Number two, you're already severely behind on most of your accounts. You're more than 3 months behind on this stuff. Now, if you're current on your payments, debt relief is not for you. Let me say this one more time. If you're current on your payments, stay in the debt snowball, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, but this is not for you. Number three, this is for you if you cannot realistically pay off your debt within the next 5 years. Even with extreme budgeting, you're like, Anthony, I just don't see a foreseeable future of me getting out of debt. Number four, bankruptcy is your only other option if you do not do this. Number five, you have consistent income to fund a settlement account every single month. Keyword is settlement, meaning that if you owe a $5,000 bill, you're going to settle it for maybe $2,500. That's what settlement means. Paid in full means if you owe $5,000, you pay $5,000 in full. Now, who should not consider debt relief? Who should run the opposite way? Number one, your debt is under, I say, $15,000, $20,000. The fees are honestly not worth it. Number two, you have good credit and can qualify, let's say, for a consolidation loan with a lower interest rate. You're not refinancing your loan if it doesn't give you a lower interest rate. Anthony, did you just tell me to get debt? I sure did, because it saves you money in the long run. So if you're paying 22% over here and you can refi that into a loan that is only at 8%, heck yeah, I want you to do that, because you're paying less back in interest. There's a strategy to everything that I'm teaching. Number three, you should not consider this if you haven't seriously tried budgeting or the debt snowball method. Number four, you can't handle 2 to 4 years of a credit damage. Number five, you're not prepared for the possibility of being sued by some of your creditors. So family, debt relief is not a magic solution. I want to be honest with you. It is one of the last resorts before bankruptcy. If you don't meet these criteria, keep watching, because I'm going to give you some different alternatives. Now, if you decide, which I recommend a lot of you to consider the free evaluation from Freedom Debt Relief or Accredited Debt Relief.
Building credit the traditional way is slow and confusing, and most credit cards want you to rack up debt just to boost your score. You see, I used to think that you had to choose between staying debt-free or having a good credit score. But, here's what I've discovered. There's actually a way to build credit without any credit checks, without going into debt, and without paying crazy interest fees. And it works faster than I thought possible. See, my friends at Kickoff, they are the truth. They are doing something different. They help you build credit the right way without the debt trap. I've seen people go from no credit to a 700 plus score using their system, and they did it completely debt free. Say one more time, completely debt free. Over 150,000 people have left 5-star reviews on the App Store. Users see an average of 34 points increase in their credit scores. Some even see, watch this, up to 84 points within the first 12 months. These aren't just numbers. These are real people getting approved for homes and getting better interest rates. Here's the truth. Every month you wait is another month of paying higher interest rates on everything. A good credit score can save you a lot of money, thousands on a mortgage, hundreds on car insurance, and even help you skip the security deposits. Don't let bad credit cost you money. I want you to visit anthonyoneal.com/kickoff right now to get started for as little as $1 on your first month. I want you to build credit the debt-free way, because your future self will thank you.
There are 15 critical questions you must ask before signing anything, before cutting a check, before doing anything with them. All right. I put all 15 questions in the show notes below this video. Screenshot them, copy them, write them down, or print them out. Do not get on a call with any debt relief company without these questions in front of you. And you need to get every single question asked, because these questions cover everything from fee structure to success rates to what happens if you get sued. If a company can't answer these questions clearly, or if they press you to sign up immediately without walking you through the process, then you need to run, even from these two companies. But I vetted them, and they've answered these questions for me. Again, the 15 questions are in the show notes. Use them to protect yourself. Use them to protect you and your money. Now, let me tell you about my friend Sarah, who's in the Black community. It's a real person who gave me permission to share her story. You see, Sarah's a single mom making roughly about $50,000 a year. After her divorce, she had $45,000 on the credit card debt. Her minimum payments were about $1,200 a month. That was more than her rent. Her rent was only like right around $800, I believe. She got on our plan. She used our wealth tracker tool. She was budgeting. She tried the debt snowball, and she's honestly still working the debt snowball as well. But the interest was killing her. Here's what happened when she chose debt relief. Month 1 through 6, she told me she stopped paying her credit cards because they were already 5-6 months behind. And she put $800 a month into her settlement account. Her credit score did drop about 80 points, she told me. She did get some collection calls frequently throughout the week. Month 7 through 18, the debt relief company started negotiating. They settled her first card, $8,000 debt, watch this, for $3,200. Then another $12,000 for $4,800. Month 19 through 36, we're getting into year 2, going to year 3. They settled the remaining debts, total of about $45,000 in debt for $18,500 in settlements. Plus, she had to pay the $6,750 in fees. So Sarah saved $19,750. But her credit took about 3 years to fully recover. She dealt with stress. She dealt with some collections. And she said she almost had one lawsuit. But they did not proceed forward with it because she settled with them. Was it worth it to Sarah? I asked her. She says, heck yeah. She said, because if I didn't do that, she said, bankruptcy would have been next, Anthony. And I know you talk about bankruptcy, you avoid that at all costs. So if I had to deal with some collection calls, a possible lawsuit, and my credit being hurt, my credit was already shot. Heck yeah, Anthony, it was worth it. It saved me so much money. She said, but it wasn't easy. And she even admitted it's not for everyone. So before you even think about debt relief, I want to make sure that you've exhausted these options and these alternatives. Most of you watching this can solve your debt problem without damaging your credit at all. You all know me, I teach the debt snowball method. We're going to link that free PDF inside of the book on how to use the debt snowball method to get out of debt. But real quickly, you're going to list all of your debt from smallest to largest. You're going to make the minimums on everything, then attack the smallest debt with everything you've got. When it's gone, you're going to take that payment and add it to the next smallest debt. This method has not only just helped me, but it helped literally millions of our family members become debt-free without destroying their credit. It honestly helped them. So again, we're going to put the link to that book down below. Alternative number 2 is you can try direct negotiating with your creditors. You can call your creditors today. Ask for hardship programs. Many will reduce your interest rate, lower your payments, or even settle for less than what you honestly owe. without going through a debt relief company. And here's the third alternative: nonprofit credit counseling. You can go to organizations like NFCC to find legitimate credit counseling agencies. They have 68 to about 70% success rates and cost under $1,000 in total, way less than debt relief. But they only go up to a certain amount, and honestly, they're not as aggressive, right? But it's another option. It's another option. Alternative number 4, you can do some debt consolidation. Remember, if you still have decent credit, you might qualify for a consolidation loan of 6 to 12% interest. We only consider this though if we're paying more than 6 to 12%. So if you're paying 18% and you can get it at, let's say in the middle at 8 to 9%, that is a good refi. Do that because now you're saving money in the long run. And this will save you thousands in interest and get you even debt free faster. Because I want you to try these. I want you to try these. But I do believe some of you are saying, Anthony, I've tried. And that's fine. That's fine. Listen, if you've listened to everything I've said and debt relief still feels like it makes sense for your situation, I want you to consider it. I want you to consider it. I have reached out to these 2 companies and they're going to give you a free evaluation. Freedom Debt Relief and Accredited Debt Relief. These 2 companies I do trust. No payment required at all. No commitment, just information. All you have to do is go to anthonyoneal.com/debt relief right now. That is anthonyoneal.com/debt relief. And I want to say this clearly again. You're not paying anything up front to sign up. You're not committing to anything. You're just getting a free evaluation to see if you qualify and if it makes sense for your situation or you and your family's situation. Use the 15 questions that are in the show notes. Take notes. Ask the hard questions. And remember, legitimate companies never charge upfront fees, and legitimate companies always provide some level of education along with answering their information. If they ask for money up front, hang the freaking phone up. If they press you to sign up immediately, I need you to hang the phone up. If they can't answer the questions that they answered for me, hang the phone up. But the key thing is call both. Call both and fill out the form for both and see which one do you feel comfortable with. Go to anthonyoneal.com/debt relief. Get your free evaluation with Freedom Debt Relief or Accredited Debt Relief, but only if you meet the criteria we talked about. All right. I know debt feels a little overwhelming. Let's be honest. I know it steals your peace and it keeps you up at night. I remember those days. But your financial freedom is possible. Whether it's the debt snowball, credit counseling, consolidation, or yes, even debt relief for some, there is a path forward. The key is choosing the right path for your situation. And one of the things I was guilty of in my past was saying this is the only way to go. But in 2025 and beyond, I believe we need 2025 options because not everybody's in the same situation. And I think the saddest part for me is seeing some of my community members file bankruptcy when I wish some of them would have did this. Honestly, because bankruptcy impacts you for 8 years. Don't let desperation make you choose the wrong situation. Truth of the fact is you're not your debt. You are not your credit score. You are a child of God who was fearfully and wonderfully made with a purpose and a future. This debt is temporary, but the decision you make today will impact you and your family for years to come. And I want to end today's episode with this. Everything I've shared today is educational content only. this is not personal financial advice. I got to start saying that. I'm always recommending sit down and talk to a financial advisor. While yes, I have the credentials and the degrees behind me now, every situation is different. And I'm always suggesting sit down and talk to a financial advisor so they can go deeper into your situation. Okay? I'm excited about what we're doing. I'm excited about where we're going as a community. I'm excited about, man, we got 1 million subscribers. Wow. I'm excited. I really am. If this video helped you, do me a favor, share this with a friend. Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. And studies are even showing us that right now, about 60% of you who are watching are still not subscribed to our channel. That's fine. But join us today if you can. All right. It's your boy, Anthony O'Neal. Remember to go to anthonyoneal.com/debt relief. If debt relief makes sense for your situation, or if you just need any other tools, resources, and help along your journey, just go to anthonyoneal.com. There's a lot of resources out there. All right. Your breakthrough is coming, y'all. All right. It's coming. Keep fighting for your financial freedom. And I'll see y'all soon. I gotta go. I got a lunch date.